So what is going on, guys, and welcome back to episode number 2 of the AS Monaco career mode. And to start off this episode, I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone that had checked out the last episode of the AS Monaco career mode, which was the episode 1 with Rich series, and we have now on 137 views and 12 likes, which is a great achievement. And I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone that has checked that out. And I would obviously hugely appreciate it if you could also check this one out and leave the same response as you did on the last video. But as you saw, that Falcao does do very well to get up with a header, but a good clearance off the line. He did get a little bit of a knock on the ankle, but fortunately for me, it was nothing serious. We do come very close from Kondogbia there, and this was the game where our two new players were playing. Our two new players were Alderweireld, who was the centre-back, and the one and only David Luiz. I don't think, no, at this moment in time, we did not have anyone else in the squad, so we only had, obviously the new players that had joined, like the Falcao, João Moutinho, and Falcao does amazingly well here, a beautiful shot, and it ends up in the back of the net, 44 minutes, and we were now, we were beasting and feasting in this game, and I was delighted with the performance of the team so far in this game. Falcao is turning out to be an absolute beast, and he's turning out to be the player that is going to actually probably win us a lot of games. But Juice does very well, using speed, cuts back inside. He doesn't. He decides to go with the difficult option and blast it with his weak foot into the net. And we were now 2-1 up. So we did concede first, but now we are 2-1 up. And as you see there, you would have thought he'd cut back inside on his favourite right foot, but no, he decided to go for it with his left foot. A poor clearance from the defenders there. It gets to Falcao, and Falcao with a beautiful finesse shot, and that finishes the game off. A beautiful finesse shot. And at this moment in time, I know we have only played one game, but I am absolutely loving this career mode. The players, Rodriguez should score from there, but a little cheeky chip he tried. Unfortunately, it didn't come off, but João Moutinho was there to slot it into the back of the net. So things didn't really matter in the end, but we ended up winning 4-1. So we completely annihilated Stade Brest. They were good in the first half, but in the second half we were just all over them, and we just exploited them with the amount of quality and star players that we had in the squad. As you see there, Ross Barkley and Connor Wickham coming on to make their debuts for the club, but unfortunately I didn't get any really important chances because nothing really happened from that moment on. But we ended up winning 4-1, so we were delighted. So our first win was under the belt, and especially it was a good home win, 4-1, a convincing win for us. And obviously all we want to do is get convincing wins, and that was what we'd done. Rodriguez should score here, but unfortunately a little bit of a touch, it went a little bit too far, but they play a lovely through to Traore. No one could catch him up, he was through, and he slid it underneath Romero. So once again we had conceded an early goal, and we had an uphill battle to climb, and we need to be trying to improve our defence at the moment. But they're two new players, but Falcao unfortunately couldn't get the good touch to bring that around the defender, but João Moutinho does very well. He cuts back inside on his right foot and he shoots. Unfortunately it comes back, but he has another chance, and this time he manages to finish it off. 45 minutes, and we were now back on level terms. But like I was saying a little bit a while ago, I think obviously I think João Moutinho, Falcao now that do a brilliant job, but the two new players I brought in, I think, are playing brilliantly well. It's just some stupid mistakes that they're making where they're too far apart, but I think that's just a partnership problem. They need to get that together. Abidal at the moment, I think I need to replace him, even though he's still quite a high rated player, but his rating is going to start going down. But there, we were now losing 2-1 again. So as you see there, our defence once again failed. Romero hasn't actually made any saves whatsoever, I don't think, but I'm afraid with the shots that they're having, he's not going to be making saves from them because they're beautiful goals. And David Luiz steps out, but unfortunately Kondogbia doesn't, and plays everyone on side. And then in the second half they do nearly go 3-1 up, but Romero this time does make a very good save with his feet. 60th minute gone, play it to Moutinho, play it to Falcao has a shot, the keeper couldn't get enough on it, 62 minutes, and Falcao, the beast of the team, had done it, and we were now back on level terms. I thought the keeper should have saved that, but he didn't get enough on it, and it hits the inside of the post and ends up in the back of the net. So Traore does but a beautiful save from Romero there, and he must have heard me because he was playing magnificent in this game. Abidal tries to get his head on this, but does very well to get a good volley onto that, and Falcao does amazingly well to actually get to that, but unfortunately no one was up there to help him. And within the 89th minute, they go and do this to me. They go and score through Contador. I was gutted. It was like my heart had sunk into my stomach. I couldn't believe it. Things were not doing that well at this moment in time. We wasn't doing that well, and we were now 3-2 down. Really, all we wanted to try and draw now, but it didn't look like we were going to. But Falcao gets the ball, unfortunately lose it, but some sloppy play there. And David Luiz does very well to actually put pressure on, and it looked like they were going to go and score again, but Alderweireld does very well, wins the ball back, play it to Kondogbia, does play it to Rodriguez to João Moutinho cuts back inside on his left foot, on his weaker foot, but no, he hits the inside of the post in the 90th minute and scores. We were ecstatic, even though we wasn't going to get the 3 points, but 1 point is always better than nothing. And the performance that the squad put in today was something that really makes a manager feel good, especially when they do something like that. It was just an incredible performance. Kazuki Honda here, we were actually interested in inquiring about 12 million. We actually bid for him, but we couldn't get any response until we finished our cup game up against Lille. We decided to play Ross Barkley in this game, so Ross Barkley was going to make his full debut in the cup, and we were really going to see if he could perform. But David Luiz there, God knows what he was doing upfield, but a beautiful shot, good save. Falcao does very well to get up, hits the underside of the crossbar. Things were getting very unlucky. I thought that was going to end up in the back of the net, but Traoré, a wonderful ball through to Rodriguez. He tries to take it first time, but a good save on the goalkeeper there. But this time, the ball gets played to Kondogbia. Kondogbia does very well here. Play it to Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley cuts back inside on his weak left foot, and he blasts that into the back of the net. Ross Barkley, on his home debut, or not in his home debut, but on his full debut, manages to do something spectacular. With his weak foot, the 19-year-old blasts us into the lead against Lille, and they do come very close here. But Romero there with a spectacular big boy save, and here I thought they were going to score, but no, Romero once again wasn't thinking that way, and we ended up winning the match, so we were delighted with the performance. Romero getting 8.6 and Ross Barkley getting the man of the match. They wanted 16 million for Honda, but Jefferson Farfan, we were looking at him. I wasn't sure because his obviously preferred position is a right mid, but I was looking for a centre attacking mid because I was going to move João Moutinho back a little bit so he'd play midfield, because I wanted a centre attacking mid. Also, Alexis Sanchez was another player. They did actually accept it for Kazuki Honda there, but obviously I prefer Farfan. They then accepted the bid for Farfan as well, so we went on to offer him a contract. And also Alexis Sanchez was also accepted. So Alexis Sanchez, Farfan and Kazuki Honda were all accepted. And then the contract offer was declined. This was for Luke Shaw, which we didn't actually manage to get in the end. But the reason we were inquiring about Luke Shaw was because of Abidal. Abidal, don't get me wrong, he's a good player, but as soon as you start getting to the age of Abidal, they start going down. Like, he's already gone down. He started at 78 and he's gone down to 77. So things just keep going down. And it just didn't seem right to have a player of that age in the squad. Alexis Sanchez and Farfan didn't accept it. They both wanted more per week. But we had to wait until our next game after the Toulouse game to see if they were going to be eligible for the next episode. But Toulouse are a difficult side, but fortunately for me, they had 3 players injured. But Rodriguez plays the ball to Falcao. Falcao, doing what he does best, fires it against the post, and a foul by Jaume Moutinho there. I thought he was a little bit lucky not to get a yellow card there, but I'm not complaining. Obviously, I don't want any players to be getting yellows or reds. And I just thought we were playing amazingly well. A brilliant header from Juice there. Juice gets the ball back, and he cuts back inside, and he unleashes the shot, but a very, very good save from the Toulouse goalkeeper there, and we were all over them in the early stages of this match. David Luiz tries to get up, a diving header from him, but unfortunately he did not make contact with the ball, and Falcao once again puts a lovely ball in the box. Juice tries to get up, a bicycle kick. All we had to do there, Ross Parker, all he had to do is take a little touch, but unfortunately I wasn't paying attention. I must admit that is my fault, I wasn't paying attention. But Toulalan once again wins the ball back, we get the ball back to Juiced, and Juiced unleashes a shot and another brilliant save from the Toulouse goalkeeper. So the Toulouse goalkeeper was in top form during this game. Juice puts the ball in the box, Falcao gets up, but unfortunately their defender gets there just before us, and we were all over them. They did not have the ball at all, but Falcao does very well, and unfortunately he did get a little bit too much on it this time and diverted it round the outside of the post. So 30th minute had gone, they were then on the attack. A lovely control there, but a lovely block from Alderweireld. It was actually Alderweireld, I thought it was Ramiro, but Alderweireld actually got a good foot on that to deny it from ending up in the back of the net. So Juice does very well, the smallest player on the pitch, does very well to get a good header out. Juice then gets the ball 70th minute, and we really needed to try and score because things weren't getting better. Some sloppy defending from the Toulouse players here. Plays the ball to Juice, and Juice does what Juice does best. He fires the ball into the bottom right hand corner, and we were now 1-0 up. 73 minutes had gone, and this was a very important game for us. Toulouse are not an easy team in Ligue 1. Or Ligue 1, whatever they're called in France. I do not speak French, so that's probably why I'm not going to be getting the names of some of the teams and players right. But we ended up winning 1-0. Juiced getting the important goal in the 73rd minute, and he gets man of the match with a 9.4 rating. The contract offer was then accepted for Jefferson Farfan. For Alexis Sanchez, it was not accepted. For Kazuki Honda, it was, but we wasn't going to try and adjust the budget. Jesse Rodriguez was the next player we were interested in. We were going to try and swap him for D-Ra. D-Ra was a good player, 1 million we were going to offer, but it come back, it was unaccepted for Jesse Rodriguez. They wanted 2.6 million, and I thought, you know what, let's do it. 2.6 million, we accepted D-Ra, and Balenciaga was another player Balenciaga was another player we were interested in to replace Eric Abidal. Jesse Rodriguez was then accepted the contract offer. We went in to try and lure him away from the Real Madrid Castilla squad. And that was pretty much the end of this episode. So please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time on whatever that episode might be. Bye bye.